The following program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
It truly does not matter who the host is. Anyways, you are listening to the Rated R Safety Show on this Tuesday, October the 1st, 2019. Day 274 of the year. Only 91 days left before we see the 2020. Anyways, how are you doing so far this week? Are you off to some fantastic times, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I have to tell you that I have been blessed enough to come to you live. Oh, yes, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm pretty fucking excited about it, to be quite honest with you. Anyways, we are going to be broadcasting live this week for the Rated R Safety Show and some of the other shows that are available here on Safety FM. So you can be able to take a listen and see what we have going on here at good old Las Vegas, Nevada. And yeah, I'm not trying to get in any kind of trouble here. I know better. I know better than to get into problems, to get into trouble. But anyways, while we're here, I'm not going to forget the importance of what our show is about. In our show from the very beginning, we talked about that we wanted it to be about rants, and we talked about that we would be discussing the news. Those things have not changed. And I told you from the very beginning that I wanted people to have the opportunity, oh yes, the opportunity for them to be able to come in and host the thing. Now, a couple people have taken me up on the offer. One actually did it. The other one took me up on the offer but never did it, so that's not important. But we're going to go back, and today we're going to do a rant. Now, this particular rant, the lady does reference that she already is putting a filter on the rant. Okay? So I'm going to give it to you as live as possible. So take a listen and let me know what you think.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Now, it's your turn too, bitch. I mean, rant on the Rated R Safety Show.
I'm using this filter called Glitter Lips. I want to make myself feel a little bit fabulous because I'm actually really annoyed right now. My flight from Hobart to Sydney was delayed, making me miss my connection flight. And I went to the ticket counter so they could give me a new ticket, and they did that, and I had to go to like another location to get accommodations. And the woman who gave me the accommodations was like, okay, just go downstairs and catch the shuttle to the airport. So I go and I drag my suitcase, which is like 70 pounds, it's fucking huge, drag it over there, and a guy tells me the shuttle will be here like in 20 minutes. 20 minutes go by, it doesn't come, I wait 40 minutes, and then finally I'm just like, fuck this, what am I doing waiting for a shuttle when I have money? So I look at the cost of an Uber, and an Uber's like $15, but it's like kind of on the other side of the airport, so I'm like, whatever, taxis are right there, and I just jump in a taxi. I get to the taxi. Taxi takes me to the hotel, and it ends up costing double the cost of an Uber. And then I get in the hotel, and they're like, oh, you're at the wrong location. You have to, our other fucking hotel with the same name is just on the street. But don't worry, you can walk. 10 minutes. So I walk, and then I hit a fucking impasse where the sidewalks close, and I can't cross the street because it's like a fucking highway. So I have to like go way around the street, like there's no cross street. Adds another 10 minutes, takes 20 minutes for me to drag my heavy-ass suitcase, which seems to be falling apart. Like, there's like a wheel that's like fucking broken, even though I've only used this suitcase like 3 times. I finally get to this hotel. I'm tired. I'm sweaty. I'm annoyed about my suitcase. And I just want to go home.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like a terrible time in Sydney, Australia, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. Heavy luggages. We'll get that to you. Anyways, I don't know. Some people just want to come on and rant about some random strange shit. And I told you I'll give you the opportunity to do so. Now, I'm not sure exactly what the glitter lips filter is, because the audio to me sounds the same. Normally, as you know, if you want some protection on the audio, it sounds a little bit different when you have me do it. So I'm kind of concerned when you're doing it because it didn't sound as legit as mine. And I'm not saying that mine is better than yours. But at the same time, you have to start asking some questions on, is your filtering working as well as mine? Anywho, not going to waste a lot of time. So we're going to go ahead and get you started with the news.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I am coming to you live from the Las Vegas area, because definitely I would love to tell you that I'm coming to you live from the Las Vegas studios, but I would straight up be lying there. Anyways, don't know if you heard, there was recently an update that took place inside of the Tesla vehicles. So Tesla vehicles now have a smart summon feature that brings the car automatically to you, thanks to a recent software upgrade, as I already said. But things are not going as planned, and that's going to be kind of interesting. Social media is now overrun with reports that crashes between driverless cars going to meet their owners and innocently hitting older cars. Now, I keep on sitting here and I go, this is pretty interesting. So this is only on when the car's being summoned. So imagine what occurs when you're actually using the technology for it to be driving down the road. And I'm talking more along the lines when you're having it on self-driving mode. Now, keep in mind that I do not understand how some of this technology works.
Duh.
So I want to make sure that I am referencing that and not there just be some assumption of some guy talking behind a microphone going, oh, yes, I know what I'm talking about. Because that's not the case. But if it's doing it in a low speed scenario, what scenario could you run into if you are doing this from a standpoint while you're driving 60, 70, 70, 75, 57, see all those kind of crazy numbers on when you're driving down the highway? On where that could end up going. Just a question. I am not trying to stir up a controversy, because that's not what I do here on the Rated R Safety Show.
Duh.
So anyways, let's continue down the path here. The homeless crisis in Los Angeles is so bad that local leaders are begging California governor to declare a state of emergency. The request supports that say an emergency declaration is needed to bypass the burdensome rules and regulations like zoning laws that block homeless shelters. Maybe just get rid of the rules and regulations altogether. So I keep on reading and hearing about all these stories of all this craziness that is going on with the homeless inside of California. We've had discussions already now about Los Angeles. We've talked about in the past about San Francisco. So what is going on there? I mean, there is a lot of scenarios with the homeless there. So the governor needs to do something to change it. Now, I am not a politician. I definitely am not a politician. I don't understand what all needs to be done. I do understand that you do have budgets for things. So let's have that conversation right away. But let's also understand that some things need to be done to help in the area. Anyways, that's me just giving you my guess, a rant on a rant of a news story.
Duh.
Anyways, let's continue down the path here. A Tucson man is accused of killing his son while trying to perform a makeshift exorcism on him. According to the local news, Pablo Martinez admitted to pouring hot water down the 6-year-old son's throat last Thursday in an effort to cast out a demon that he said was inhabiting the boy. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. Martinez said that he saw something evil inside of his son while he was giving him a bath. So Martinez held the boy under a hot water spigot for about 5 to 10 minutes, subjecting him to burns of 15% of his body. By the time the cops arrived, it was too late. Now, holy shit, dude. What the freak is going on here? So you're performing an exorcism. So you thought hot water was going to take care of the scenario. So let's even go down that path. We're going to go down and dirty here. So we're going to go down the path of this news story. Let's talk about the craziness of the news story. Because here's the thing. If you are taking this water that's so hot and you're burning your child, and you're deciding that this is the way that you're going to do it, is the water blessed before you did it? Because I can tell you, I watched the Exorcist movies when I was a child, and I could have swore that that water was at least blessed by a priest before they actually ended up using it. But anyways, what do I know? I'm just telling you from fucking movie that I watched when I was a child.
Duh.
So let's just keep on moving and grooving as we keep on going here. A German startup company hopes to launch a new line of electric-powered air taxis in Singapore. The taxis look like a normal chopper, but with an 18 smaller rotor. I don't know what that even means. The company Volocopter, yes, Volocopter, hopes to begin commercial operations soon with the hope of fully autonomous flights in 5 or 10 years. Well, 5 or 10 years is a pretty big range. And shit, if we just heard a few moments ago that someone like Tesla is having a problem with somebody summoning your car, we're going to trust a startup? I mean, hey, you can trust whatever technology you want.
Duh.
But keep in mind here, people, that, I don't know, a little crazy. Crazy. Helicopter flying around. You're trusting it because it's fully autonomous? I don't know. I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I love technology, but I'm not there. Anyways, let's continue. This one's a really interesting news story. Japanese researchers have invented an artificial blood that they say that's even better than the real thing. It can be used in transfusions, here you go, for anyone, regardless of their blood type. The scientists said that the test of fake blood was successful in rabbits, so should be usable to humans very soon. So think about that. So now you don't even have to worry about blood banking, based on what they're saying, is that this fake quote-unquote blood can be used on anyone. Well, that would be quite fantastic if that actually works well. I can only go based on what's in the news stories. Not everything that I read, I'm sure, is 100% spot on, especially when it comes to new technologies, because we're not that familiar with them yet.
Duh.
Let's continue. A Texas woman is accused of subjecting her 4-year-old son to serious bodily injury after falsely claiming he had numerous medical conditions. The boy underwent unnecessary medical procedures as a result, according to the arrest affidavit. The woman is brought to have a compulsion called Munchausen syndrome by proxy, in which parents subject their children to hideous abuse of lying about their medical condition and forcing them to undergo medical procedures they don't need. Now, the funny part here is that you have to take a look at it, and you have to be 100% aware that when you're taking these people to a medical facility, the doctor, to some extent, has to be on it, because they're involved too. Because, I mean, they're turning around and telling them, hey, my child has this. So are they verifying that the child actually has what the parent is saying? I know it's not to be argumentative, but at the same time, you have to think about those things, people. Let's continue down the path here. Did you hear about what happened in Southeast Missouri? Here we go. Southeast Missouri experienced 5 earthquakes in under an hour on Monday morning. They were all small, ranging between 1.8 and 2.7 on the Richter scale. Missouri, think about that. Missouri, not a place that you would expect. Experts say that the area, let me try to say that one more time. Experts say the area home to the New Madrid seismic zone has historically been the site of some of the continent's most intense earthquakes, which actually caused the Mississippi to run in reverse for a time in the early 1800s. Well, I guess maybe it's not on as expected as I thought.
Duh.
Maybe. I just am talking out my ass. Who knows? Anyways, you are listening to the Rated R Safety Show. Let's get to one of my favorite portions here. And this is the days of the year that you can celebrate. And I'm going to tell you, today is a long list, so enjoy it here. Day that you can celebrate. Let's start right from the top. CD Player Day. Homemade Cookie Day. International Music Day. International Coffee Day. International Day of Older Persons. International Raccoon Appreciation Day. Model T Day. Less Than Perfect Day. National Black Dog Day. National Book It Day. National Fire Pup Day. National Fruit at Work Day. National Hair Day. National Lace Day. World Vegetarian Day. Now, I have to tell you, I've been doing this list now for quite a while, and that might be the longest list out of all of them.
Duh.
I think it's quite crazy on how many things can be celebrated in one day. Why don't we just put one day for everything? I don't know. Anyways, you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show. I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you. Mean it. Bye.
Duh.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
This episode has been powered by Safety FM.